passed him pretty far by now.
We'll fight according to the Marquis of Queensberry rule.
Let's show him what we do to killers.
This is getting monotonous.
That's what I call a real bad man.
He's on the side of the law, Buck. We're all on the side of the law.
I'm going to blow him in half.
"26 Men" was the Arizona equivalent of Tales of the Texas Rangers. It was based on historical fact. In 1901, the Arizona Territorial Legislature had authorized an armed force consisting of 1 captain, 1 lieutenant, 4 sergeants, and 20 privates to maintain law and order. The reason there was only 26 of us was because the territory couldn't afford no more, reminisced one of the original members many years later. In this straightforward action western, Tris Coffin played the captain and Kilo Henderson a new recruit. Others of the 26 were seen from time to time, but none were regulars. Our episode, entitled Valley of Fear, begins when a U.S. Marshal rides into the peaceful town of Alpine, Arizona, in search of Stace Underhill. At the mention of Underhill's name, the otherwise friendly residents of the rugged little town get downright quiet. Maybe that's because Underhill, a cold-blooded killer, just so happens to be playing poker in the bar room the marshal has just unwittingly entered. Confronted, Underhill adds the marshal to the list of lawmen he'd previously gunned down. Enlisted to bring Underhill to justice, Henderson poses as a gunslinger and joins Underhill's gang. With Tris Coffin as Captain Rinning and Kilo Henderson as Ranger Clint Travis, we present 26 Men.
Saddle up, saddle up, saddle up, saddle up. This is the story of 26 men who rode the Arizona Territory. High is the glory of 26 men whose courage helped to build the territory. 26 men who saddled up and then rode out to answer duty's call. 26 men who lived to ride again and fight for the rights and the liberty of all. This is the story of 26 men enforcing law within the territory. Praise be the glory of 26 men who rode the Arizona Territory. Ride on, ride on, ride on.
In the rugged frontier that was Arizona Territory, the job of a United States Marshal was often a lonely one. Endless miles of trail could be covered only by horseback. And at the end of the trail, violence and even death sometimes lay in wait, even in an apparently peaceful place like Alpine.
20 volts and a rub down. See you later.
U.S. Marshal, huh?
That's right, Dan Peterson. Hot day.
Yeah, it's too hot. Kills business.
Do you know where I could find a fellow by the name of Stace Underhill?
No, I wouldn't know him.
Howdy, Lou.
Why, hello, Marshal Peterson.
That's right. Haven't seen you since,
Dolly's.
that's right, Santa Fe.
Yeah.
Nice to see you around, Lou.
It was good to see you, Marshal.
Maybe one of you fellows can tell me where I can find Stace Underhill.
Why?
I ask you a question.
What if I say I'm Underhill?
Then I'd say let's step outside.
How many?
Give me 2.
Stand up, Underhill. You're under arrest.
Real good friend of yours?
Why, no. No, just an old acquaintance.
You've never talked yet, Uncle Ben. This is just a reminder. You and Carter get him out the back way, bury him in the North Wash. You ever seen a $100 yellowback? Now forget what just happened and sit down and play something pretty. How did Marshall ever find out that I was riding with the Musgrove gang?
Never beats me, Stace.
And here's an unsigned letter that says I hang out here at the Emerald Queen.
My bet is that Musgrove turned you into the law. Probably figures you're going to take over.
Maybe I will. We're going to get Mr. Musgrove.
Well, he'd be expecting that. Besides, he's got too many men.
Maybe you're right. Maybe we better get somebody from the outside.
Peterson said he'd keep in touch. It's been 2 weeks. That Musgrove gang's on the lookout for lawmen. 2 deputies, 3 sheriffs in the last 4 months. And now it looks like a U.S. Marshal.
Maybe not, Captain. You look like a good lawman.
Yeah, the good ones get shot, too.
This, Stace Underhill, is he suspected of riding with the Musgrove boys?
Yes. It's a bad time for them to be moving back into the territory. People in the East are fighting our bid for statehood, claiming all we've got out here are George Musgroves and Gila monsters.
Afraid we're stuck with the monsters.
Yeah, but not the Musgroves. We can't let them get a foothold in this territory.
Maybe we ought to round up 15 or 20 men and go busting into Alpine.
I don't know.
Wait! Captain, you hadn't ought to bark that way. I almost slit my throat.
Good. Excellent. You know you're just ugly enough to be perfect.
No lady ever said that, Captain.
Travis, you're going to Alpine.
Just over that ridge.
Then the Underhill place must be right over there, about 6 miles. You got everything straight?
Yeah.
Good luck. I'll see you tomorrow about 5.
Teach him to lead, but I don't want to see any rope burns on him.
Colonel Underhill?
Huh?
My name's Reining, Captain Reining, Arizona Rangers.
Oh, pleasure, Reining. I've heard about you. Bert Jonas is one of your boys, I believe.
And a good one. Saw him last week over in Winslow.
Is that so? I cowboyed with his daddy. We came out here together in the 60s.
Well, that's what he told me. His father thought a lot of you.
Long time ago. Long time ago. You just passing through Alpine?
That depends, sir. I've got to do some checking on some missing horses. Had a report they're up at the north end of the valley.
You after horse thieves, Captain?
Politics. A friend of the governor's complained.
Oh, I'm surprised it didn't send all 26 men. I insist you stay here with us. Every man and horse in my spread will be at your disposal.
That's very hospitable of you, Colonel, but I couldn't...
You certainly will. Now, let's get your things and we'll find some refreshments. still think it's funny. A man of your ability getting sent after horse thieves. Oh, son, I want you to meet Captain Rining, head of the Rangers.
Glad to know you.
Pleasure. My son just got back recently from New Mexico. Said he was scouting breeding stock, but if I know better, he was just raising cane. Captain Rining's here looking for some missing horses. Thinks they might be up the north end of the valley.
Well, there's lots of room up there. It's a good place to hide stock. Well, I'll see you men later.
Fine boy. A little wild and woolly, but I spoiled him after his mother died.
Well, this is a wild and woolly country.
It used to be. Stace will settle down now. He's all Underhill.
That's a good name in this part of the country.
Yeah, there's a ranger at the house with the colonel named Captain Rining.
You think it's because of the shooting?
Could be. Says he's looking for stolen horses. Still.
Musgrove's men could have tipped off the Rangers. I'm telling you, Stace, you got to put a man on Musgrove fast.
All right, find one or else you do the job yourself. I'll ride along with this ranger and see just what brand of stolen horses he's interested in.
What's your pleasure, sir?
Ever hear of a U.S. Marshal named Peterson?
No.
Try and remember. It's important.
Oh, I'd tell you if I could, mister.
If you do happen to remember.
I'll let you know.
Deal me in.
Do you know that big fella at the poker table?
No. Look, there's a ranger snooping around Alpine. Staying out at the Underhill place. Name's Rining. Gives in now. Looks smart.
Oh, you know I will. He looks like a gunslinger to me. The way his gun hangs and the way he acts. He's no cowpuncher.
So what? Has he been bothering you?
No, but he's been asking about U.S. Marshal Peterson. Seems real anxious to locate him.
Say anything special?
No, just asked about the marshal. Of course, I said I didn't know him, and, well, he offered me $1, wanted me to remember.
Now, look, Ben, you got that hunted and don't forget it.
That's the only thing I do remember.
Now, look, keep an eye on him. See if you can get him to talk. Stace is going out the north end of the valley. Be back tomorrow.
I'll offer him a drink on the house.
Give him anything he wants. We'll see you tomorrow.
Any luck, gentlemen?
Oh, I'm afraid not. But your son was a great help.
I always is. I want you to meet Ross, foreman here, my top hat.
How are you, boss?
Come on in and freshen up, Rining. Stace will take care of your horse.
I'd like to. Want to do a little more checking later.
Good.
There's a gunslinger in town looking for Marshal Peterson. Seems mighty anxious to find him.
Sure he's not the law?
Well, he didn't look like it.
Looks don't mean a thing. Let's find out.
Well, that's what I mean, because if he is a gunslinger, might be just the man we need.
Take care of the horse.
Colonel, I found this in the mailbox.
Oh, thank you. It's for you, Captain. No stamp on it.
Thank you.
Excuse me a minute.
a little ride will change my luck.
That's the guy.
Big man, ain't he? Walks easy like a cat.
Now he's getting his horse.
Well, he isn't leaving town or he'd have gotten his bedroll from the boarding house.
Don't smell like law to me.
Smells are no better than looks. Never can tell. Let's see where he's going.
You lost, mister?
Not exactly. I know I'm in Alpine Valley.
Where were you headed?
Minersville. Thought I'd change my gambling luck.
What do you do for a living?
I don't make it asking questions.
That's better. Dice? Fixed? Deck of cards? Looks like shaved edges. Well, well, well. This one's counterfeit. Listen to this. Wanted for questioning, Brad Mason, 27 years, 6 feet 2, brown hair, blue eyes. If located, notify Sheriff K. Overman, Claridge County, Oklahoma. Use extreme caution as this man is a deadly gunfighter.
You Brad Mason?
No, I'm Pat Masterson's brother.
Look, you're in trouble, mister. You want to get out of it? Be polite.
You're the law here.
So that's what's bothering you. Yeah, you might say that, but not the badge-wearing kind.
What did you want with Marshal Peterson?
I want to see him. Something personal.
How personal?
He shot up my brother.
Are you fixing to get even?
Something like that.
Think you're pretty handy with a gun?
I could have taken you two any time I wanted.
How?
Easy. You had your gun in my ribs. That was a mistake. I could have hacked it out of your hand, drawn, and shot you both.
What do you think I'd have done?
Got shot. Care to try a practice draw, mister?
All right.
You wouldn't have had a chance.
Come on, I'll buy you something to eat. Maybe your luck's changed.
Yeah, about time.
You'll like it here in Alpine, Brad. I guarantee it'll be worth your while.
Things are picking up around here, and we could use a troubleshooter like you.
Troubleshooter. That's good. Brad here's the best.
I don't know, boys. I don't think I better take the job.
Why, there's nobody around here you can't handle.
Oh, it isn't the rough stuff that bothers me. It's just that I got something else to do right now.
You worried about that, Marshal? Well, you can forget about him.
What would you say if I told you that Peterson is pushing up the daisies less than a mile from here?
No, the marshaled a blue streak with a 6-gun. No one in Alpine could take him.
Shall I enlighten our friend?
I think it'd make him feel better.
I did it, Brad. Here. Stace Underhill did it with his little pop gun.
Right here in the Emerald Queen.
So you see, you don't even have to worry about the Peterson job.
I don't know, boys. It sounds like a story made up just to keep me here.
That's right. That's why we're telling it to you, to keep you here. But it's not made up. Stace put 3 bullets into the Marshal right here.
And nobody saw it, I suppose.
Sure. Bartender, the professor over at the piano, a fellow that works for me named Carter. They ain't remembering.
What'd you do with the body?
It's buried in the sand up at the North Wash.
They even gave him a decent burial. Put a cross in rocks over the hole.
Just wanted to make sure, that's all. Couldn't rest if I thought that man was still alive.
You know, Brad, I got the same kind of unrest. George Musgrove put the law on me. I'd give $1,000 for some peace of mind.
You got yourself an expensive worry. Show me some earnest money.
There's $300 in advance.
Looks like Stace has got a stranger with him.
There's something familiar about that man.
Bunkhouse is over there. Drop your bedroll while we see the colonel. Colonel, just hired a new hand. Good one.
Been drinking again, son?
Just a knock with a new fella.
Have you known the man long?
Long enough.
You mind if I talk to him, Colonel?
Well, anything you say, Captain.
Why is he doing that?
Said he looked familiar.
He's a good hand with livestock, Colonel.
Good. We're taking over the McClellan place next week.
I guess they got tired of having their cattle rustled, huh?
Well, it don't look too serious.
Colonel, this is Brad Mason.
Howdy.
Howdy, Colonel.
We'll be getting on. See you all later.
Just a minute, son. You're under arrest.
Are you crazy? Is this a joke?
There's nothing funny about murder.
Did he tell you I killed somebody?
He did?
He's a gunslinger looking for the marshal. He probably killed him himself.
Hold it.
How did you know it was a marshal who was killed?
Do you know what I can do to you for false arrest?
Certainly.
Are you going to take this saddle tramp's word that my son is a murderer?
Colonel, this saddle tramp is an Arizona Ranger. Now, if you don't want your son to walk to the sheriff's office, get a wagon.
Hey, this is the most outrageous thing I ever heard of. My son may be a hellraiser, yes, but a killer, never.
You're in trouble, Captain. You'll never make this charge stick.
Well, there's always a first time, even for an Underhill.
Unbuckle those belts.
The arrest of Colonel Underhill's son and foreman for murder fell like a bomb on Alpine Valley. People were amazed at the audacity of the Rangers for doing such a thing, but privately convinced that nothing would come of it. The courts were something else. The colonel won the first round by having the case tried in Alpine by a local judge. The largest room in town, the Emerald Queen, was to be the temporary courtroom.
It's all right, Your Honor.
I've held court in lots worse places.
Thank you, sir.
Just talk to the sheriff. Says he's too sick to act as prosecutor.
I don't think he's lying either. He's scared to death. Not the first time something like this has happened to me. So I'll just have to ask the questions. But I'll need your help, Captain.
And that's why I'm here.
I'm sure you know what we're up against.
It's an old story to me, but we can only try.
I'll get the prisoners.
So the trial began. The trial that the people of Alpine Valley were sure could only lead to the acquittal of the two accused.
The Circuit Court of the 4th District is now in session. The case of Stace Underhill and Ross Parker is before this court. Captain, call your first witness.
Uncle Ben Larkin.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, so help you God?
Yeah, sure.
Take the stand. You're the bartender here?
That's right.
On the afternoon of June 23rd, did you see these two defendants with a man named Carter in here?
No, I didn't see them all day.
Did you serve a drink to a U.S. Federal Marshal named Peterson on that day?
Nope, not on that day or any other day. Never saw that fella in here.
Any questions, Captain Riney?
Well, isn't it true, Uncle Ben, that after the murder, you were paid $100 to keep your mouth shut?
I object to this kind of question, Your Honor. Captain Reining is assuming that my son killed a federal marshal, a charge that is utterly malicious and unfounded. It's the same story of the law determined to pin a crime on someone, anyone, in order to balance the books.
Objection sustained.
Did Stace Underhill give you $100 on the day of June 23rd?
No, sir.
All right. Thank you very much, Uncle Ben. That's all, Your Honor.
Court is recessed for 1 hour.
This is what the folks around Alpine expected. Witnesses who had seen or heard nothing. This trial would be as uneventful as others. Where are you going, Lou? You can't run out. You're the next witness. It's up to you.
Captain, I just play the piano.
No, you do a lot more than that, Lou. You've tried to help the law. You wrote this, didn't you?
No, sir. No, I didn't write that.
Yes, you did. You gave this to Marshal Peterson. It's written on music paper, Lou.
You can't prove I wrote that.
I wouldn't try. This was the Marshal's badge. He was a good man, Lou. We found his body in an ugly hole not a half mile outside town. Who put him there?
Mr. Ranger, I'd never get out of here alive.
We'll protect you. If you saw, if you know, tell the court. This is a nice town, Lou. There are nice people here. It's going to become a hellhole if men haven't got guts enough to speak up. You're the only one that can do it, Lou. I think you will. You have absolutely no recollection of such a thing happening.
No, sir.
That's all, Your Honor.
Your witness, Colonel.
I don't need him. He didn't witness anything.
In view of the complete lack of evidence against the accused, the court is forced to dismiss this matter. However, it may be reopened at any time concrete evidence may be produced.
As a lawman, I've been in a lot of towns. Good, bad, and indifferent. And I've come to realize that any town is what its citizens make it. Someone once said that people get the kind of law they deserve. I think this is true. And if you want decent law here in Alpine, you've got to deserve it.
Just a minute, Judge.
What's that? You have something to say?
There's evidence. A $100 bill Stace Underhill gave to me. I saw the murder.
It's a cheap, dirty trick.
Where else would I get such a bill? No, Judge. He gave me that bill to make me forget that I saw him shoot down a man in cold blood. A U.S. Marshal. Oh, Stace. Why did you do it, son? Why did you do it?
Alpine Valley. Wouldn't mind settling down there someday. Real nice place.
That's right. Because no man wanted it that way.
It's a story of 26 men who rode the Arizona Territory. High as the glory of 26 men whose courage helped to build the territory. 26 men who saddled up and then rode out to answer duty's call. 26 men who lived to ride again and fight for the rights and the liberty of all. This is a story of 26 men enforcing law within the territory. Praise be the glory of 26 men who rode the Arizona Territory. Ride on.